And we're live. It is Monday, June 23rd. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. We're going to get started with today's video here momentarily. We're in members only mode as well, but we'll get started with the live stream here in about half a minute. We'll give it a little bit more time for people to jump on. I see we have some people joining. Welcome, welcome. It's Rod with Pow Group. We're going to get started here in about 15 seconds. We're just going to give a little bit more time for people to jump on here last minute. All right, let's get things kicked off. As I mentioned, it is Monday. It's June 23rd. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to jump into today's video, live stream, members only mode at the moment. We'll go through any questions anybody has with regards to all of this news. But I did want to come on, and I don't have a whole lot of time, so doing it members only mode for today. But we're going to take a look at Tilray. We're going to take a look at some news. There's some more dilution. We're going to discuss that. It's a little bit of dilution, not a huge amount, but dilution nonetheless. And we have news of Mary Jones, so Jones Soda selling off its Mary Jones brand. And that had to do with a licensing deal. We'll take a look at that. And then we'll discuss some of the Texas news as well, the governor vetoing that bill. So that was a great, we had a post as well from Tilray on the subject. And then toward the end, we'll take a look at the TLRY chart. We'll take a look at the technicals and the price action, what to expect in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. Before we do, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I do own Tilray in my portfolio. It's my largest MJ portfolio holding. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And speaking of X, Tilray Brands did post on there saying they commended Governor Abbott's decision to veto the hemp ban in Texas. So you can see here, MJ moment. They published this early this morning. Texas governor vetoes bill to ban hemp products with any psychoactive component following forceful pushback from the industry and veterans and more. So it looks like the hemp industry, kind of living to fight another day, essentially. But we know that as of today as well, that the Texas GOP governor wants to legalize recreational MJ, lieutenant governor claims. Again, this just makes sense, right? It's all one plant. You look at Canada, we've been legal almost 7 years now. Hemp, MJ, doesn't matter. It's all regulated the same, right? It's all treated as it should be under the same plant. So what we need to do is just legalize it recreationally, legalize the whole plant, right? Legalize MJ, in the state, like federally, in the whole country. And like I said, regulate it the same because it's all one plant. So hopefully this is where we're heading. We'll see what happens, but it looked like it was doomsday, and now it's the complete opposite today. So we'll continue to keep tabs on that. But Tilray Brands posted a pretty lengthy update here. At Tilray Brands, we have been advocating for responsible legislation that not only protects consumers, but also aligns with the evolving needs and preferences of consumers. And we know that they've been getting in and out of different markets, especially with regard to the hemp beverages, and they're kind of taking that very cautious approach. And with all the uncertainty, it's not surprising to see them kind of dial back in Texas, but this might be something that they tackle again here in the not too distant future, especially if they go recreational. It is in the spirit that we applaud Governor Abbott of Texas for vetoing the proposed hemp ban. The decision to veto this ban demonstrates a prudent approach to regulation, acknowledging the economic benefits of hemp-derived products and the importance of responsible governance to guarantee consumer safety. This action highlights the governor's commitment to fostering innovation by ensuring the availability of high-quality and safe hemp products for consumers. We understand that the landscape of hemp and MJ regulation is complex and ever-evolving. However, it is through thoughtful and informed decision-making, as exemplified by Governor Abbott's recent action, that we can achieve a balanced regulatory framework. Such framework should prioritize consumer safety, support local businesses, and encourage the growth of vibrant, responsible hemp industry. At Tilray Brands, we are dedicated to upholding the highest standards of quality and safety in our products. We are committed to working collaboratively with lawmakers, regulators and industry stakeholders to develop and implement regulations that reflect best practices and meet the needs of our consumers. We firmly believe that the responsible regulation is key to unlocking the full potential of hemp-derived products by ensuring that these products are produced and marketed in a manner that prioritizes consumer health and safety, and we can build trust and confidence in our industry. And 7 out of 10 voters in the US support federal MJ reform, and nearly half would view Trump more favorably if he took action. And again, we've been seeing right now, it's just not a big issue at the moment. There's a lot of other things going on. Look at the tensions in the Middle East. You've got crypto, blockchain, AI. Every second word out of the new administration's mouth is one of those words. And you have the crypto legislation going through right now, right? Which said the Genius Act, so stablecoin legislation. They want to get a market structure bill. So crypto legislation's almost across the finish line. Once that gets complete, then I think the U.S. will start to turn their head toward MJ. But again, it's just not a big priority right now. But obviously a very big issue among voters, and I think it's just a matter of when, not if. And I do think that there's a good chance that it happens a lot sooner than many are predicting. If we take a look at here, Tilray Brands, there was a recent filing here, Form 8K. So if you scroll down, it says Tilray Brands has entered into a private, and this just came out today, like an hour ago or something like that. They've entered into a private debt for equity exchange transaction. So they've issued just under 12.591 million shares and change of the company's common stock and a value of 0.001. So essentially what this just means is they essentially issued 12.6 million shares in exchange for $5 million. And you can see here that's part of the company's 5.2% convertible senior notes due June 1st, 2027. So rather than pay down that convertible senior notes, so their debt, instead of paying down with cash, they essentially exchanged, instead of giving $5 million in cash, they gave $5 million in shares, which equate to $12.6 million. So they're paying down debt, but instead of doing so with cash, they're doing it with shares. So if anybody does have any questions, again, we're in members only mode. I don't have a whole lot of time, so I wanted to come on, give members a chance to come on, give me your thoughts and opinions. What do you think of this news? Were you surprised by this? Not surprised by this? Is there any questions? There's also some news coming here with some new products and whatnot that they have that they've been releasing as well. But obviously, we know that dilution is still going to be an issue until the company turns profitable. Same with a lot of other producers, right? You look at like Canopy, they're probably not going to be profitable till at least 2027, maybe later. So you always have to expect more dilution, especially if the company is not yet profitable. And while it's dilution, it's not a huge amount of dilution, only $5 million or 12.5 million shares. And we know that they've recently decided to put on pause the reverse split as well. So the shareholders did approve it, but 41% of shareholders were voting against it. So that's a large number of shareholders that didn't want it to happen. So they're basically just putting on pause. They're reevaluating the timing and the evaluation of that and seeing whether or not they want to implement it. But essentially they have the approval from shareholders to do a 1-for-10 or a 1-for-20, which would drastically cut down on the amount of shares outstanding. But obviously they're going to take a little bit of a more kind of cautious and just evaluate all scenarios. I don't see what the rush is. They have 6 months from the warning, so September 21st, then they could get another 6 months from then, similar to what VFF just did, and they just regain compliance organically. So I think it makes the most sense to just hold off. There's no major pressing issue to do it right out of the gate here. I think just kind of delay it a little bit longer and see what happens if we get some sort of moving on rescheduling. There was a U.S. House of Representative staffer, as reported by the MJ Herald, who said that he believes that Trump wants to move soon, or said that Trump wants to move soon on rescheduling. So if and again, some of these sources haven't always been correct, but it's a House staffer. So we'll see what happens. I think the writing is on the wall. They've already said multiple times, especially Trump himself, supported Amendment 3 in Florida. Medical said nothing but amazing. He said he wants to leave it up to the states, supported Florida, supported safer banking and rescheduling. So I think promises made, promises kept has continued to be the theme here. And there's a good chance that it ends up happening that way. And we could see rescheduling soon. Safer banking sometime before the midterms in 2026. Also, Jones Soda sells Mary Jones MJ beverage line for $3 million to privately held company. And if you recall, Jones Soda partnered with Tilray to bring Mary Jones MJ drinks to Canada. And I've heard a few people comment on my videos in my comment section that they've tried the beverages in Ontario. They started with Ontario and British Columbia, and I've heard great things about it. So I'm not sure how this is going to affect that partnership, but here is the details. So Jones Soda Co., a beverage company known for its premium sodas and unique consumer engagement, today announced that it has sold its MJ beverage business, including all related MJ specific assets under the Mary Jones brand, to MJ Reg Disruptors LLC, otherwise known as MJ Reg, and they're a privately held company. So the transaction is part of Jones's previously announced strategy to streamline operations and focus on its core soda offerings, modern functional beverages, and emerging adult beverage category. So pursuant to the terms of the share purchase agreement dated June 19th, 2025, entered in between the company and MJ Reg, company subsidiaries that hold its MJ beverage business. As amended, all equity interest in the MJ subsidiaries were sold to MJ Reg for $3 million in aggregate consideration, consisting of $489,399 in cash that was paid on June 19th. And a promissory note of $2.5 million and change. And if we scroll down here a little bit more, so the transaction, the company and MJ Reg entered into a multi-year exclusive and non-transferable trademark licensing agreement dated June 19, 2025. So under which MJ Reg will have the right to use the Mary Jones brand name in any consumable product containing an emulsion derived from the MJ plant. So, and it's going to be an annual licensing fee of $150,000 payable on the 1-year anniversary effective date and $225,000 on each subsequent anniversary date. And that's assuming a 10-year term. Total amount due to Jones Soda Co. would be $2.175 million. So there's some comments there, but yeah, I'm not really 100% sure how this, I'd like to get some information, perhaps directly from Tilray. I'll reach out to some of my contacts, see if we can, it might be a little bit too early to tell. Who knows, maybe they will still have distribution rights for the brand in Canada. But that's something that we'll want to keep an eye out on for sure. So elevate your summer with Canada's leading MJ brands and products by Tilray Brands. This was actually launched, this article launched today as well. Tilray launching a curated selection of Canadian MJ beverages, vapes, and pre-rolls to enrich your summer activities. So we know they've already announced these atomic sours, but they just launched and they're already a fan favorite. These bold sour infused drinks are bursting with flavor and psychoactive component. Keep the momentum going all summer long. So they have new multi-packs coming out as well. We know that they mentioned this in the earnings call. So from the Molo brand, that was XMG Atomic Sours. They're going to be coming out with the Keys as well, which were the edibles. But Molo Blackberry Seltzer, there's going to be a 4-pack launching in August in Ontario. And they've got Strawberry Guava Seltzer coming out. That sounds fantastic. That one's just starting in August for Ontario for now as well. Tropical Tart and Crushable. Love it. So good supply. You got Double Dutchies, you got pre-rolls, Peach Bum, infused pre-rolls, Mini Monsters mix pack. Redican, you have the live resin infused pre-rolls. So those are going to be great to try out. I'm 1 month today. Actually, it was 1 month yesterday. I haven't consumed any MJ, but we'll see what happens here in the next few weeks. Or I'm probably going to do 2 months no MJ, but we'll see how it goes here over the next month or so. Wow, surprised that we don't have any questions from members. This is a member-only chat at the moment, so if you're a VIP member or if you're a core member on YouTube, make sure to let me know if you have any questions. We'll get to those here at the end. If you have any questions with regards to dilution, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time today, so I wanted to make this members only. So now's the time to get some specific comments if you have them. Redican legit live resin all-in-one vape. So this is something that we posted on the channel as well. They have a couple different strains. I think it's the Purple Churro and Animal Runts, but those look amazing. I've heard great things about them as well from the community. And Mango Django, 2 gram 510 vape from Good Supply. And you've got Broken Coast MJ, Creamy Dreamy, and coming soon, the Coffee Creamer, launching in August 2025 in all major markets. The smooth and aromatic indica blends rich coffee and creamy vanilla notes for a flavor experience perfect for summer. Okay, yes, sounds amazing. Give me some of that, please. But like I said, I haven't consumed any MJ in over a month now, and probably going to be doing 2 months, but these are some of the products I'll be looking for. When I start to buy again, I'll be definitely looking for this coffee creamer, the all-in-one vapes, the infused pre-rolls from Redican. Those look amazing as well. And then these beverages and the XMG Atomic Sour beverages and gummies. If anybody's tried these as well, please let me know your thoughts and opinions. We'll take a look at the chart here. I mentioned this in the last update that we had a weekly bear flag. We've since confirmed that bear flag when we lost 43 cents. That confirmed it with a lower high and a lower low, and a very weak bounce didn't get above that 0.32 fib. So then you just take your measured move there with the trend line, go from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and it's saying the target was 31, just under 32 cents. So we've come within. Today we hit a low of 35 cents, so we're now, in terms of percentage, roughly about 8% away from that target. We do have a falling wedge pattern here as well, so it's entirely possible that, at this point we could see a wick down with the rising tensions in the Middle East as well. It's entirely possible that, like I said, we come back down to around that 32 cent mark. Also with the dilution today, that might kind of spook some retail investors. But overall, it's only $5 million, 12.6 million shares, so not a huge deal. And continuing to pay down debt. So instead of paying down the debt with cash, they're doing so with 12.6 million shares. So if this were to, to hit, if we did come back down to around that 32 and come back to this, within this pattern, then we could potentially see a reversal here over the coming weeks, but it's just not set up at all, right? Set up well at all. We've got the S&P 500. It actually closed pretty decent today. I think it was right on 600. It's actually a weekly bull flag on the S&P 500 targeting, let me just bring it up here real quick, actually. So yeah, we closed today at 600, and it is a weekly bull flag that confirmed, and we started weekly consolidation briefly last week and again this week. But overall, still in a weekly uptrend, still looking at this weekly bull flag with a target of 657 on SPY. But man, we're not set up well at all on pretty much all MJ at the moment if we were to ever see, a 10-15% correction on the S&P 500. But the best case scenario we're looking for is we get some sort of update with regards to rescheduling in the US, if they can move forward with that. Again, not expecting any major focus on MJ policy until we see crypto legislation. We know that the new administration has said they want this done before August recess. So I think it makes a lot of sense that they get this done, crypto legislation, out of the way before the end of August. And then after that, taking into account all the seasonality for this sector as well. Generally, MJ does very well in the fall. So I think there's a lot of momentum building into the fall where we could potentially see rescheduling, Schedule 3, safer banking, maybe, early 2026, but they ultimately want to get it done before the midterms in 2026. So we'll see what happens if we can kind of respect this falling wedge pattern, even if we were to see a quick wick and then come back into that pattern. If we can break out from here, that'd be looking at around a target of 55 cents. And you just take your move here from the falling wedge and then move it out to the breakout point. And like I said, that's around somewhere around that 55 to 56 cent area USD on the NASDAQ. But we did have a MACD bull cross. We're back into bear territory here on the stochastic, still well below the 10-week moving average, well below all of our weekly moving averages, and well below all of our daily moving averages. So it's going to be at least a couple of months, bare minimum, before we see any real action, I think, in MJ. The charts are just not looking good at all. You had CGC today. It actually hit its bear flag target. So if we zoom in here to the hourly time frame, we had a target of 117, and today we hit 116. So pretty much to the penny at this point. Hourly oversold, and I believe we are micro oversold at the moment here on this chart as well. Let me just bring up that indicator here. Yeah, we were micro oversold, which basically factors in 3 different time frames. So it's looking at the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the hourly. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think I changed that for the POW algo. I think, yeah, that was the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the hourly. And then if we take a look at macro, the higher level time frame, ultra oversold, that one is looking at the daily time frame. So it's looking at the hourly, the 4-hour, and the daily time frame. When all of them are oversold simultaneously, it'll send off an alert to the POW algo service, and you get an email and an alert directly in the POW group private community. But look at the last time we were ultra oversold here on CGC. We're getting close there again. We're getting close to daily oversold. But the last time we were ultra oversold, this thing rallied about 141%. So again, not looking good. We're flirting with another reverse split, so the whole sector just, it's been rough. Nobody's had it worse than MJ Investors, that's for sure. TCNNF, MSOX, ACB, CGC leading the decline today. So again, I think a lot of people expected today to be a lot worse than it was, to be completely honest with you. Especially with, you know, what happened over the weekend and the tensions in the Middle East. But Love, Verano, and Cron leading the bull list today. Actually, Canara Biotech had a nice day today. If we zoom out here as well, there was, we closed, what was the high of the day today? 144. So this is one of the shining stars in the space at the moment. We've actually got some ascending triangles forming. And if I just bring that up here, you can see here we had a target of 106. And this was just technical analysis, like perfection and a thing of beauty, really. You can see here we had a ascending triangle. We broke out, we came back, back tested old resistance as new support, and then bam, we shot out, hit our 106 target, consolidated right on that, and then we came back to it again, and we've been finding a lot of support in that area. And even this green trend line just continuing to respect that as well. So overall, you know, we're seeing some names, you know, Oxley's still pretty bullish. We see kind of some leaders and laggards, but it's pretty much a mixed bag right now. CGC back down close to that $1 mark, so could be flirting with reverse split territory. There could be some FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt with that. Like I said, Tilray more than likely heading to that 32-cent level, which would be the bear flag target there on the weekly time frame. We do have some bullish RSI divergence as well, as I mentioned. We have some higher lows and higher highs here on the RSI and lower highs and lower lows on the price action and this falling wedge pattern. But yeah, it's been brutal. It's with the dilution today, Mary Jones selling there, you know, it's kind of, this really surprised me, to be honest. Let me know in the comment section if you were viewing this after the fact. This one, I did not see this coming at all. I was even thinking that maybe Tilray could potentially buy this, but yeah, curious to hear what everybody else has to say about this. Your thoughts and opinions. Maybe, you know, just they don't really think that they need to buy it. They already have their own beverages, and they're launching more beverages as well. Strawberry Guava Seltzer and the Blackberry Seltzer, and then also the Atomic Sours. I can't wait to try those, actually. Those look absolutely amazing. So we'll try it out. I mean, yeah, I can't see why they would want to sell that off, especially, you know, with Texas and the veto there from the governor. Hemp really on the up and up, but I guess, you know, they're just focusing on other things at the moment. But yeah, very strange, because like on all of their recent earnings reports as well with Jones Soda, it was like the first thing that they would mention was the Mary Jones brand and some of the success and numbers that those were seeing. So very strange, but yeah, curious to hear what everybody else has to say. And it doesn't look like Tilray's going to be, maybe they were in the mix, who knows? Maybe some things we'll never know. But curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. Again, made this a members only video because I knew I'd probably get a lot of comments if I was on here doing a straight public video and regular comments, and I don't have a whole lot of time. I gotta get going here in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, I thought I'd leave in about 5 to 10 minutes at the end, and it doesn't seem like any members have any questions today. Just make sure everything's coming through okay. I'm just gonna go do a quick test, because maybe there's something going on with my streaming software. Sometimes the comments lag a little bit, or sometimes they're just not working at all. So I'll just go on here, make sure everything's, just going to do a quick test. Yeah, it's coming through, so I guess we just don't have any questions from members. All right, well, we shall do it again soon. And again, if you're viewing this after the fact, obviously it's a live stream, so if you're not a member and you want to comment something, once the live stream is done, you can just refresh the video and then leave a comment. And yeah, we'll continue the conversation in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this, but not great. It's looking like we could see, you know, like I said, a little bit more, another leg down, a little bit more downside across the sector. And again, just with, there's some great news, you know, happening behind the scenes. There's some growth, right? There's progress, but as I've been saying for many months now, it's not just progress. We don't need, you know, hopes or any kind of, you know, promises. We need something concrete, right? And whether that's excise tax reform in Canada, not holding my breath on that one. Maybe that's a 2026 thing or 2027, who knows? I always said it's probably going to happen around the same time 280E goes away in the US. Who knows if it's safer banking, rescheduling getting done. But again, not just progress, not just bills going through the House or the Senate passing one or not the other. We need something actually concrete, something actually being enacted, right? Either rescheduling to Schedule 3, 280 goes away, or we get safer banking or excise tax reform in Canada. Like I can't imagine anything else that would really lift the sector out of this brutal bear market that we've been in for almost 5 years now, really, since 2021. So it's been brutal, I know, but unfortunately, it is what it is. The sector's still growing. We're seeing lots of growth behind the scenes. It's just we're not seeing it reflected in the share price yet. But things are moving in the right direction. I think we're a few months out. Like I said, once we get crypto legislation done, it's already we've seen the first standalone crypto bill pass, the Genius Act, in the Senate. Now it's off to the House, and there's basically a 0% chance that it's not going to pass the president's desk. So once it gets past the House, which I don't think will be any issue, they're going to focus on the market structure bill for crypto. And then after that, they want to get that done before the end of August recess. So then I think after that, we're going to see the new administration pivot and focus on MJ. And then, like I said, safer banking, rescheduling will more than likely be a priority. Going in it there, though, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, everybody, and we shall see you again on the next video. Take care.